I've been grinding since young and they told me my timing was coming. I've been hustling with no fun and forget all the fame, get the money. I'm out in LA where it's sunny. I've been eating.
The city of Seattle, known for coffee, grunge music, and of course rain. And we're definitely going to get a heavy dose of the last of those three here tonight as you look inside a wet and wild CenturyLink field. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Arizona Cardinals. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Play action with Drake and look to throw it. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Murray going to throw. They'll set up the screen to Gray. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Murray. And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted. The rookie Jordan Brooks picks it off. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
And a confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
Well, he's going to take a shot right away. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, but it'll be 2nd down.
And there shouldn't be any surprise at all when we watch him flash his arm. Easy motion, easy action, and that ball flies downfield.
Naeem Hines, his first carry. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra...
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Will Dissly, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Murray. He'll buy some time right. Going deep for Hopkins. And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect. How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little... Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. Charles, I don't know what's going on in that defensive team meeting room, but they better keep it rolling. 3 picks last week, 2 here now in the first quarter. Everyone talks about creating turnovers and getting takeaways, but until it gets put into action, it's just talk. And right now, it's in action and in a big way. Now they get the receivers wondering if they have to turn around and play more defense instead of running routes trying to take the ball downfield. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Kenyon Drake last year versus Cleveland, absolutely unstoppable. Ran for 137 yards. Remember, 4 touchdowns in the Cards' 38-24 win in Week 15. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, Murray. It's brought in by Kevin White. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And a Cardinal first down.
Shotgun now from Murray. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So a first-quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything. To try again after the sack. Wilson escaping the pressure right. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, first down Seahawks. They'll run on first down. It's Hines. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Naeem Hines, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Great call to hand that one off, and his running back did the rest.
Someone read their keys correctly, and on the defensive side of the ball, they certainly did not, because they really essentially were just going to swarm the quarterback. They kind of guessed themselves out of the play, and guess who benefited? The guy with the football.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
From the 27, Murray. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Throwing is Murray on third down. And that is incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
On fourth down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep is Philip Dorsett. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
32-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They begin the drive with Hines, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. On 3rd down, Wilson. And able to find Dorsett. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
At the 48-yard line.
On 1st down, Hines. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost getting into a ball sometimes.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back in the back 7, phenomenal.
After the turnover, here's Murray sliding out of the pocket. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
And he is such a tough quarterback to defend because you got to remember, arguably, he's more dangerous outside the pocket than he is in it. But how about the job they did defensively to stay with the receiver and knock the ball away? I think they had a sigh of relief.
Murray fighting, lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
I think what we just saw there with that fumble return is the increased emphasis on taking the ball away from another team. And no one wants to just fall on in football anymore, do they? They want to take it and try and score themselves.
But when you fall 1 yard, and he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Naeem Hines offense with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go.
Makes the score Seahawks 20. Cardinals 0.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Taking it about the 1.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. Let's see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Yeah, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Now on 1st down, Drake again. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Kenyon Drake in Week 16 last year against these Seahawks had a career day, 166 yards rushing, a couple of touchdowns as well, as the Cardinals won in Seattle 27-13.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Murray a give. This is Drake.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Murray to throw on 3rd and 1. Finds the open target, Arnold. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down.
1st down, Cardinals.
They'll run with Drake. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Steps away to
Murray has it knocked loose. Fumble. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
They go play action with Wilson. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack.
So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now it's Hines. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The linebacker Jordan Hicks flying in there for the sack. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep, Patrick Peterson. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. 39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. He was trying to find his tight end, Dan Arnold, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Operating from the gun. Murray going deep for, and that's caught inside the 30. And down inside the 10 at the 9.
I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run in the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And the next-gen stats show him reaching at a top speed of 20 miles an hour.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? A final shot before half for Murray. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Set to valve as time expires in the first half. And the Cardinals get a bit closer. You knew time was going to run out, so this had to be in the end zone, and somehow they were able to find a window and get it done.
Very easy for us to talk about up here that, yes, all that had to happen. But when time's running down, sometimes your brain compresses a little bit too. They showed great poise, understanding of situation, making sure they got to the end zone in order to complete that pass and take a nice momentum into the locker room.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. This is DJ Reed returning. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way.
Let's just call that play exactly what it is. Needed, because they wanted to get back in the game, and they knocked the ball free, and now they have a chance to do exactly that.
They got the chance. Now they have to take advantage. Murray now on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. And what everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Jaron Reed able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. After the sack on 1st down, Murray fighting, lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. He's at the 50, 30,
20, 10, and they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. We know this defense has some playmakers. We saw it right there. Well, really, we've seen it the whole game.
Isn't it nice to see that on the opposite side of the ball? Respect, my man, respect. The defensive guys are outscoring their opposing offense.
Yeah, they're outscoring him indeed with that score alone. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh.
And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34.
Still all sorts of time left in this game, and you'd like to be able to say take it one play at a time. But the truth is, they're probably going to have to hit on a few big plays in the passing game to close this gap, and that's a good start right there.
Murray now on first down. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Well, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry. Throwing on second and long. Murray going deep for Hopkins. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Murray. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
That is inches from the upright. It's no good. Wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. So without making excuses, you have to figure that this rain has had an impact now on both of his missed field goals.
It's one of those situations really difficult to practice for and tough to prepare yourself against. It's just a whole different animal kicking in the rain, and we've really seen him struggle.
2 yards the loss, second and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the gun on third down, Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep. It's caught at the 10. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is.
The kickoff for Seattle.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. A big-time play there by the Cardinals. 54 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now Drake. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright.
Now Drake loses the football. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
This will be caught at about the 6. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. That catch good for only a couple.
At the 5-yard line.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And this will be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. To throw, it's Murray. And that's going to be intercepted. Jamal Adams with it, the all-pro safety. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Jamal Adams, an all-pro for the first time a season ago, had a fumble return for a touchdown and a pick-6 last year, and he delivers another pick-6 right here. The extra point now coming from Myers. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good.
40, Cardinals 6.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And following the pick-6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick-6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people. Because they're going to have.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. 2nd and 11.
Let's go, D. 57's the mic. Watch 57. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
They run again with Hines. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Nyheim Hines, 34 yards. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Seahawks. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit, being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
And he returns this to the 22.
On the return, the Cardinals take over.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They stay on the ground with Drake. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Counter play, Drake. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 80-yard gain on 1st down, but unable to do much from there.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Here's Andy Lee now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And how about this, a fake? And he's going to let it go deep. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. They'll run on 1st down. It's Hines, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
2nd and 10 at the 26-yard line.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he's got room. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Nyheim Hines, 26 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
On the return, the Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. And they take a knee.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
And they will take a knee here. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Murray with a 3rd and long. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he's got some space here. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. And they'll indeed take a knee. And they take a knee. Third down now, and those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And they will take a knee here.
Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So, to me, this seems like a case of just kind of taking their medicine there, run the ball, see if they could pick up something. Instead, they were thrown for a loss.
Here's Andy Lee now. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Seahawks, it's a rare victory for them as they get that record back to 3-7. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Arizona, add one more loss to the column. That drops them to a woeful 1-9 so far. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is